Clara once again, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Clara Chips Show. The Clara Chips Show is a show where I learn about my life experience and also I learn about other people's experience in life. So if you are tuning in for the first time, I can say that it's not by accident that you're seeing me today. It is divine. So you better stick around and hear what I have for you today. So you guys, I just want to start with this story today. You know what happened yesterday? I was just home chilling, just having a great time for myself, and I just received a text from my partner, and he was just informing me that one of the guys just passed on, and this person is a well-known guy here in Kitwe. He's a rich man, and he just passed on. So I texted back. I was asking what happened. Was he sick? Was he in an accident? Because I think the last time I saw him, he was just okay. So he texted back saying that no, people are saying that actually he died from the coronavirus. And I was like, oh my goodness, wow. This is something that always come when I hear about death, or let me just say, to all of us, I think when we hear that somebody has just died, we are like shocked. It's like we are surprised and we feel bad. Sometimes we think about their family. How are they going to stay without him? But I think, I said in the other video, but I think we just have to understand and learn to accept death, because whether we like it or not, one day you and I will die. All we have to do now is just to prepare for our own death. Yes, we are seeing our friends dying, but all I can say is that their time on earth has been completed. I know it's a bitter pill to chew, especially for some of us who have been brought up in that fear of, death, because like I said in the last video, when I was growing up, I used to think that, I'll go to hell when I die. So I've always been scared of dying. But anyway, I'm working on that one. Yeah, we always didn't say, wow, it's sad. This and this person has died. Oh, it's sad. Oh, too bad. Oh, I feel bad. But I mean, I don't know. But I think we just have to accept and move on, because like they say, life is short. So what can we do? Yeah, so today I just decided to share with you on how different religion think about dying. Like, for example, what happens to our souls when we die. And I just thought of looking at Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and also Hinduism. So let's get started and see what the Christians think about, when somebody dies. According to the Bible, when God made man, he made him out of dust. And after he finished making man, the first man, Adam, he breathed his spirit into man. And that's when man became man. He became flesh. In other ways, the man started breathing, and, the blood was in stop. So that's how God made man. But the Christians believe that now that after a man dies, God removes the soul out of man's body, which the body now returns to dust. So dust to dust, because man came from dust. And the spirit goes to God, and the dust also just remains here on earth. That's what the Christian believe. So, like I said, the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. That's what the Christians believe. And when we come to Islam, death in Islam is the termination of worldly life and beginning of a afterlife. Death is seen as the separation of soul from the body, and its transfer from this world to the afterlife. That's what the Muslims believe. So we can see here that there's that separation. Yeah. So when we go to And it's also, oh, let me also add this one. It's also believed that the sinner's soul are extracted in the most painful way, while the righteous are treated easily. So this simply means that if you were a sinner, you are not going to be treated nicely after you die. But if you were a good person, doing good things, that means your soul will be treated nicely. This is according to the Muslims, Islam, that's what it said. And I think also the Christians also think that you go to hell when you are doing bad stuff, while when you are doing good things, you go to heaven. So now let's hear from Buddhism and what they say about what happens to the soul after we die. So according to the Buddhism, they believe that death is simply leads to rebirth. This belief in reincarnation, that a person's spirit remains close by and seeks out a new body and new life. So they believe that when you die, you reincarnate. It simply says that you come back. You come back and you enter in another body. That's what Buddhism says. So for the Buddhist, death is not the end of life. So it is not something to be afraid of. That's what Buddhism says about death. And when we come to Hinduism, they believe, most Hindus believe that humans are in a cycle of death and rebirth called Amasara. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Amasara meaning the world. So they say that when a person dies, their Atman, which is the soul, their Atman is reborn in a different body. Some believe rebirth happens directly at death. Others believe that um, a soul may exist in other realms. So this is what Hinduism say about our spirits, or about what happens when we die. So when I look at these four religions, to me, I think they're just talking about one thing here, but with different terminology. We have seen that there's a continuation of life in other ways. That's what I've seen. The Christian says, the soul goes back to God, which means the body dies and then the soul goes, to God, which to me, our souls lives, forever. Even the Buddhism says also that there is reincarnation, whereby it's like you come back again. If you look at that, I don't know, but this is my conclusion. I think that we are just speaking the same language. We can be different, religion, but I think the language is the same here. So in other ways, like they say, or what I've been studying, I've learned that we don't necessarily die. Our spirits continue living on and on. So once we put that in our heads, once we understand spiritually that we are immortal, then everything will be fine. You may be wondering, why are you saying that? Are you God? Well, God lives inside of me. That spirit that was put in me is part of me and God. So in other ways, I am God. Small God, of course, because like the Christians like saying, I am a child of God. If I am a child of God, then I've got the DNA of God. So we are immortal, and when we die, we live forever and ever, because even the Bible, I think there is somewhere where it says that when we die, we shall have new bodies. So these new bodies, I understand these are, spiritual bodies. So yeah, it's not an easy thing that our mind can know, but I think it takes a person to be spiritually high and to understand these things, because our human understanding can't comprehend this whole thing, because you can reach a point where you don't even know what to think about anymore. You will reach a point where you can think that life is meaningless. But let's just continue preparing for our death, because one day we are going to die and there is nothing that we can do about it. We have got an appointment with death. One of my mentors, that is Saguru, he said something that I was like, oh, okay, that's new. He said something like, Every time that we are breathing, we must be reminded of death. There's life and death. So when you breathe in and out, you said life, death, life, death. And I just found it to be so awesome. I'm like, each time you're breathing, you're being reminded that there is dying and there is also, living. So when your time comes, it comes. So I understand that, when somebody dies, that means that the purpose has finished. So let's continue being spiritual and understand these guys. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and I'll see you in my next video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that, the Clara Chips Show. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Like I always say, remember to love yourself. Life is short. If you don't love yourself, who is going to love you? So it must start from you. So you guys, catch you later. Bye bye. Mwah.